Hey, welcome to the best morning show around.
Going on daily.
It has to be. It
It
has
has
to
to
be.
be.
Right? So we're here again.
Yes, we are.
I'm Ron, and I'm with Becky, who made her
Hi.
debut on Tuesday and is now here for the whole show today.
Mhm.
How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. And in case folks missed the Tuesday show, Becky, you're from Edmonton and you're enjoying the pre games
Mhm.
festivities, I'm sure, with the Edmonton Oilers. I just became an Edmonton Oiler fan today because I need them to beat Florida. Sorry, Mike, but that's life.
Yes, we are definitely loving it here in Edmonton. The energy is wild right now.
So we got a great show for
Yes, we
you,
do.
as we've had in the first two
Yeah.
episodes. We've got some talk about X/Twitter porn,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
We have sharks. Got a lot of shark updates. Grounding, which I saw a brief moment of this in a new show I was watching, and I can't remember the name of the show. So, but I saw it in the show, and I had no idea this was a thing. And then you
Mhm.
present it as one of the topics, and I'm like, oh, this is a real thing.
This is a real thing. People do it. I do it. So
Yeah,
excited to
so
talk about it.
I can't wait for this because I don't know anything about it.
Perfect.
Um, I've got a top five. So Ron's top five is now going to make its appearance in its fourth different show.
Cool.
So we do it all the time on Sports Unfolded.
Mhm.
I've used it on Entertainment Flash and an old show I used to do, Pop Ascension. So I'm bringing it here to this one. It's going to be a great one. We also have the Mandela effect coming.
Mhm.
So so I can't wait till we talk about that because that is such an interesting conversation, no matter who you have it with, because I think everybody's experienced it.
Oh yeah.
So, but the first one we're going to be talking about, our opening story is going to be about Caitlin Clark, and we're going to bring in our buddy Rick to help us with this topic.
Hi, Rick.
Bring the hype. Bring the hype. Caitlin Clark. What's up, guys?
It's
Yeah. So,
going.
all right. So, we talked about this on the Sports Unfolded NBA show, and I had some strong opinions about it. They had some strong opinions about it. I cannot wait till I get the opinions from you two about this because this is a major story. And Mike, who's also our other co-host, he is watching the show right now. Welcome, Mike. Thank you for being out there watching. Say hi to mom. Yeah, that was the first thing that struck me, Mike. His energy. When I started talking to Rick, it was fantastic, and then it just fed into everybody else.
And
So
there's no coffee yet, guys. The coffee's waiting over there. I didn't have a chance to pour it yet. So look out.
yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah.
disappointed because you said you were going to have your coffee every morning.
With some Kahlua or Bailey's in it, right?
All right, so it's all you now, right now, Rick, and let's
All
see
right.
what
So
yours
here's
is.
here's the breakdown I got. And I see this all over social media. And I'm like Pat McAfee. If anybody knows who he is, of course, he's from
Yep.
Pittsburgh too. Dude, Caitlin Clark is a badass girl. I'm gonna say it like that because he said something else. He said badass B, which was
Yeah,
taken out of content. And I
yeah,
don't know about y'all, but they put it down. He called her a bad name. Dude, he was just saying you're the best. And you know
yeah,
what the thing is, though? I didn't watch WNBA or even college girls basketball till Caitlin Clark this year.
Mhm.
Seriously, she got me involved in every game, every
yep,
playoff game. I mean, March Madness. I didn't even watch the guys at all. I watched the girls the whole freaking time. Even when she
exactly.
lost, I mean, this girl, what she has done with jerseys, over the top, Midwest girl. I'm signing autographs for all the girls and boys. I mean, and then they're bashing her because they're like, well, I want the fame too. Trust me, WNBA, let me tell you one thing. Without Caitlin Clark, you'd be on a plane just beside me sitting there. You wouldn't be on a private jet. You all want the glam. The end of the day, I got to tell you straight up, Ron, it's all about like these people don't understand. They're jealous of this girl. Oh, well, she's doing this and I want this. Angel Reese, good for you. You made it. But you know what? Caitlin Clark is here. You're here. Doesn't matter. Hey, you both are good. But at the end of the day, Caitlin Clark is bringing the vibe. She's bringing the attendance. She's bringing money, revenue, everything. I mean, come on. She's the number one scorer in college basketball to guys and girls. Give the girl a break. And she's getting beat up with these fouls. The last foul I seen, I mean, I would have suspended her for like 6 months. I mean, you're just going to go up and then you go back to your go back to the bench and you're hugging each other, fist pumping, and then you get on these other shows. Don't even get me started where they say, Ron, they say, well, it's just basketball. I don't know about you, but the last time I played animal ball was in high school. You know, you just don't knock people over. I mean, I don't know what you think, Becky, but seriously, at the end of the day, this is bullshit. Caitlin Clark needs to be protected. Everybody's like, well, no, she doesn't. Dude, the girl's out there, and she's going to get injured big time, pretty bad, and that's what they want. These other girls are so jealous of her. Any girl that steps up and says, you know what, I give her props. I love what she's doing. I'm going to stay in my own lane. But no, everybody wants like, well, I want to be the shining star. I want to be the shining star. You can't do that stuff. And that's my take on it, man. CC all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in what you think about all of this, Becky, because, you know, I mean, guys can say anything, right? I mean, we can talk about it and we can be upset about it. But what is it on the female side of this that you know, there seems to be a lack of perspective from that side.
Mm-hmm. Well, first off, I will say I don't know anything about basketball. Okay, my husband loves it, and he actually told me about Caitlin Clark in the last couple months. I didn't know anything about it. He has never talked about women's basketball ever in the whole time I've known him. So obviously, she's doing something to the fan base. You know, I think that women's basketball is fairly underrepresented. I know that they do talk a lot about why don't they get paid the same as men's. I mean, I guess if you're not bringing in the same sort of fans, then you don't get paid the same. That's all I kind of know about basketball. Now, I think that this girl is awesome from what I've heard. And that's kind of where it's at for me. I need to go do some research on this girl or something.
Yeah, you know, Richard, your take was the same that I had and that Eric and Kenny had on the NBA show. And, you know, we're visibly upset about how things are going down.
Dude,
and
I'm going to tell you
right
what she's done for the attendance. I mean, 300% better attendance than last year.
Wow.
Just because of her. I mean, and now you say, well, no, take her off the court, see what happens. You're still going to be at the sad attendance. I'm telling you, people are watching. It's just not guys. Everybody's getting involved.
Did we lose Richard?
Oh.
Yes, we did. We lost him.
Okay.
So we'll bring him
and you're
right
back.
back in.
Did I just get canceled? No, I'm just joking.
I think you might have said something inappropriate, I guess.
No. Shark never says that kind of stuff. I keep it real. When I said badass girl, that was AZZ. No, all joking aside. But no, before we wrap it up here, I think the big thing is what she's bringing the culture too, guys. We have to understand that. Like I was saying, little girls and boys never watch basketball or watching girls basketball now. And that's great. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got 5-year-old, 7-year-old boys that are putting Caitlin Clark jerseys on. That is awesome. I mean,
yeah.
So what this culture she's building, and they're trying to block it with everything, race, this, that. Cut it out, guys. At the end of the day, give her props. Everybody's going to shine at the end with this. I don't get this. The league is like these players and owners are like so jealous because they're all going to pocket with more money. They're going to get more benefits. Mm-hmm. Why do you have to be in the limelight? I know you're all type A and you want to be the baller, but at the end of the day, only one person can be the baller in the show. I mean, and she's like the LeBron James of the NBA right now, of the WNBA. I mean, even though she's a rookie, just give her a props. That's all I have to say. And you probably both agree on the same thing. I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I mean, you just got to like praise her. And I hate this negativity stuff, guys. I just got to tell you. At the end of the day, I get so pissed off.
The jealousy of the other players is definitely key on this, because here she comes, this kid coming out of college, and now she's the star of the league, and she hasn't, she barely played any games. But what you did say also is that she's bringing in more eyes on this sport because of her. And yes, that's going to happen. It's the same thing when Wayne Gretzky stepped into the league, right? It is the same thing. All eyes on Wayne Gretzky.
And then it faded away when my boy Mario Lemieux came in from Pittsburgh, and then all went. I gotta say
it. These star players they come for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It is the world's way of saying we need to focus on this sport.
And exactly. And it's teamwork. That's the thing they're all forgetting. It's about a team, not yourself. Just because, and she's a team player, just because she's, this focal point and they love watching her game. It's just not about her. It's about everything she brings to the sport. Her sportsmanship. I mean, how she treats the fans. That's the killer right there. I mean, she will go out of her way to sign autographs. I don't know if you guys seen real quick, but ESPN had her on about 3 weeks ago on the red carpet, and they said, you can't take off the red carpet. She was on some kind of promo before the game. She went underneath the carpet, basically, and signed all these autographs. And ESPN was like, no, I don't want you to do that. No, if these little girls are yelling, Caitlin, like, what do? That's when you say, I don't care what ESPN says.
That's right.
It's my rules. And I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. She's bringing all these teenage girls into the sport just because of who she is. And that is not a bad thing. And they are treating it like it is. And I'll go further, Richard. I'm disappointed on the teammates because they didn't have her back.
No, not at all. They pick her up when she got that one foul, which, I mean, it's leveled. There was no ball or nothing. She just came behind her, knocked her down, almost could have blew her back out, and the players pick her up. They're not saying anything. The coach is a little bit, I don't know what's going on. Dude, if I was the Indiana Fever, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to be independent. I'll just do my own thing. I mean, it is what it is. It's like, but everything's, they're making a divide now. They want to divide her. You know that. Because anybody gets great, like the Tom Brady's and that, they want to find your negative. And that's sad in our country and in the world that you got somebody that's going to be a shining star for all of us. And we're going to not look up to her, but we're going to look and say, wow, this is something that's fun. You know how many families at home are watching basketball now that never did? Like they maybe were just watched Netflix and now they were engaged in all her stuff the last year. Yep. It brought families together. They forget about all this other stuff. It brought little girls and her dad together. Watching the games. We forget about this and we think about me. Shut up, girls. It's on the teams.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And the jersey sales speak of that. They dictate, those jersey sales are dictating what the fans really think. They love the player.
Yep.
You don't buy a jersey of a player you don't like.
No.
Unless it's at a discount store, it's like $4. Then you're like, I'll just buy it.
I'll do that. I'm not gonna be buying jerseys of Matthew Tkachuk anytime soon. So, Rick, thank you so much for being here and discussing this. It is certainly one of the hot topics on the planet today. And we hope it gets better, and we hope all the players in the league start to realize what it's doing for the league. It's making it better. Next contract that is up for them, they're going to make more money.
Big time.
Yes.
Simple as that. They're going to make more money. So
it's kind of a breath of fresh air for the league too, because to me, again, I'm a woman and I've never watched it. I've only ever thought kind of negative things about it, complaining, not liking their country. Not everyone. I mean, who is it? Brittany Griner? Is that her name?
Oh, let's
Right.
not go there. That could
I
be another
know,
one. Yeah,
I
she's
know.
chiming in about this stuff too, that she's not that good. Go away. You know,
That's not the
seriously.
jealousy.
No, whatever. Jealousy. I keep saying it.
It
Dude,
is.
if you're so good, you do it on the court, not with your mouth.
Mhm.
Yep.
She brings kind of like a dark cloud to the entire league. So it is such a breath of fresh air to have this.
Well,
girl
the thing
who's
is, though,
a good sportsman and a great player. I love that.
Yep. And you got this good girl that actually is trying to play the game, and then you're bringing the WNBA is getting like a black shadow now. They're looking like they're a little bit like hardcore and punching and fighting. That's not what it's about, you know. Now you got a little.
Yeah. I think we lost.
Okay, we're gone.
Yeah.
Okay, bye, Rick. What is going on here?
Man, this is it. I'm out of here after this. But yeah, at the end of the day, all I can say is let's all just cheer for Caitlin Clark, cheer for the WNBA, and just hope that everybody gets on the same page by the mid-season, I hope.
I hope so too. Thank you, Rick, so much.
Ron and Becky, take care, guys.
And we'll
Bye, Rick.
see you Saturday morning at 9 a.m.
You got it. I'll be ready.
All righty.
See ya.
Oh, that was great.
I learned so much about women's basketball.
See, this is what we bring to the table.
Totally. There's
You
people
never
like
know
me
what we
watching.
get.
Yeah. All I know is that my husband has talked about this girl, how great she is, how tall she is, how her points are this and that. And I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
never heard you talk about a woman in basketball before, but that's great. You know, if they're trying to bring more fans, if they're trying to up the sales to get more money for the players, and they should. I mean, I believe in a gender
Absolutely.
wage gap. I think that they should be paid more if
Absolutely.
their sales reflect it, honestly.
Right. And this is going to go a long way for the league
Mhm.
to make more money, and then the players as well. So,
Mhm. And of course, controversy also brings fans.
oh, it
So,
does.
all news is
It
good
has
news.
the whole world talking about it, right?
For sure.
So, we only hope that it gets fixed.
Yes.
That's all we can hope for.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to our next topic. But before we do, you are watching us on Facebook at RI Broadcasting, YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting, Twitch at RI_Broadcasting, Twitter at Broadcasting RI, and Kick at Rhode Island Broadcasting. You are watching us live again. I am with Becky, and I am Ron. We just had Rick on, and Mike is there watching. He's still watching. I know he is. And he was here on Tuesday, and he will be back again, hopefully this weekend. But we're off and running, so we are glad that we're getting the response that we have so far.
Thank you,
And,
everyone.
Yeah, it's great, and but we have an interesting topic today.
We have a lot of interesting topics today.
Yeah, this is going to be a doozy. We are off and running on X/Twitter. Now, there's a question of whether or not they're going to bring the Twitter name back. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Because X
was a weird
kinda dumb.
move.
It's a dumb move. And
Everyone still calls it Twitter anyway. So
yeah, I do too. I do. But we're going to be talking about the porn industry that has really picked up on Twitter. So what do you got for us today, Becky?
So I don't use Twitter. I don't know a lot about it, but I did hear this, that X is officially allowing porn. Now, when I looked into it, Twitter has already allowed porn. In fact, 13% of all content on Twitter in, I think, 2022 was adult material, which is shocking to me. But it wasn't officially allowed. It was sort of I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It was there, but it wasn't there kind of thing.
It's because it's a big industry and they wanted a piece of
they
the
want
pie.
to cash in, right?
Yeah.
So the recent update to X, Twitter, is saying that people can share consensually produced and distributed adult content. It can be of sexual behavior, nudity, art. I say that sort of loosely.
Yeah.
Provided that it is properly labeled and it's not prominently displayed. So it can't be your profile photo, can't be your banner photo, anything like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's weird because I think you can access porn literally anywhere. If you have a phone or a computer, you can access it anywhere. But when you go to your social media site, a lot of people use Twitter for news, right? And to catch up with each other and find out what their favorite celebrities are up to. So to
Yep.
have porn thrown into there, it's like, is that even necessary? I don't know.
Well, like I said, it's all about the dollar. It's all about the dollar.
Yeah, it
And,
is.
if you're getting $1 billion industry,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get a piece of that pie, that's what these companies do. And Twitter is no different.
Yeah.
Elon Musk wants that dollar.
Like he needs another dollar. I need a
Right.
dollar.
But he's going to say it's okay. They'll do the lip service and you can't do this, you can't do that, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
even check into it. They really don't.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it just runs rampant.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And it's not going to change. I mean, didn't Tumblr go through all that stuff too? And they said they were going to get rid of it, and it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing. I don't use
Yeah.
Tumblr at all, so
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
mean, I don't think they got rid of it. I mean, I think they just keeping it quiet
Mm-hmm.
and just raking in the dollars. That's it.
Yeah, why not? I used to say this about legalizing drugs. It's like people are doing it anyway. You may as well take a cut off the top, right? So, I mean,
Yeah,
if people
yeah.
are,
And that's what every state is starting to do now.
yeah, Canada's had it for quite a while at this point. But yeah, I was reading about this, and Elon Musk is no stranger to controversy. So what I was
Right.
reading about him was that it was saying that he is trying to just differentiate his platform from the Metas, the TikToks, the YouTubes, because those are prohibitive of nudity, right? Or of
Yeah.
adult content. I
Right.
mean, I've seen my fair share on there before it gets taken down, but yeah, they have it. So he's trying to cater to artists and creators who are marginalized by the platforms like the Metas. So I get what he's doing. Do I agree
Yeah.
with it? No.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a fine line what you say
Mm-hmm.
and what you do.
Mm-hmm.
What he's saying is one thing. What he's doing is really complete opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just think that as long as the dollar is there, he's not going to get rid of it. He's not going to.
No.
He's not going to even really monitor it too much.
No, they did say that there are going to be restrictions on it, obviously, for children. But my question is, why are children allowed to use Twitter in the first place? But anyway, and
Right.
also adults who don't want to see that. So you must have to adjust your settings. They are going to prohibit things like the promotion of exploitation, non-consensual behavior,
Yeah.
objectification, sexualization, and harm of minors. I would really hope so. Obscene behaviors. But the thing about porn, in my opinion, is that it's subjective what's offensive to you.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
they're saying obscene behavior, like what's obscene to you might be, someone's little pleasure. So that's
Right.
sort of a gray area.
For all of it as a whole, I, it can't be scrutinized a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
and then you let some other things go, and then because there's a fine line of what people like and what people don't like.
Mm-hmm.
It's
But
a
you have to
very
push
fine
those
line.
boundaries to find out what that is. And that's how we've gotten to this, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if social media gets to the point where you have to have an ID to
Mm.
even go on social media, because if you're trying to stop,
Mm-hmm.
underage,
Mm-hmm.
exploitation or whatever it may be, just getting access to it,
Mhm.
you got to do something, because when you register, you're just putting in a year of your birth date, right?
Yeah, you can make it
And
up.
what's going to stop somebody from saying, okay, I was born in 2000 at this point,
Yeah.
when you were really born like 10 years ago?
Yeah. Well, I know I found it on my kids' phones. They've signed up for all kinds of things. And I'm like, what is this? You were
Right.
not. And like, who's vetting that, right? I know that these companies are doing their due diligence by saying, what is your birthday? But I mean, there's no way to prove it. But on the flip
Right.
side, I also am not a fan of having to give my personal information. Not that Meta or TikTok or whoever doesn't have everything about you anyway with your analytics,
This is
but
true.
I mean, it just goes one step further of having to give my ID, giving my information, my
Yeah,
driver's license number. So I don't know. It's a slippery slope
it
in my
is.
opinion. I
It
think it's a little
is.
bit dangerous, definitely for children.
It is, and it goes to the same thing with the gambling aspect too.
Hmm.
I mean that's a touchy situation as well. And these kids are getting access to it. Really, parents need to be a little more proactive.
Hmm.
I
I
think that,
found out that my neighbor's kid. So during COVID, all the kids were at home, right? Their kid is a year older than my youngest, so I think he's probably 12 now. So when he was 9 or 10, he was doing some online stuff. I don't even know specifically what it was, some sort of video game, Twitch maybe.
yep.
Um, but he had said that he was an 18-year-old and he was raking in the dough. His mom had no idea where he was getting all this money from. Professional athletes who were playing were contacting him to play against him. That's how good this child was. And then the company found out that he was a child and they kicked him off and he was banned for like multiple years.
Yeah, he was probably playing Madden or
Yeah,
NBA
maybe.
2K, and because a lot of the pro athletes are into that,
I could see that.
and and if you have a following on
Hmm.
Twitch, you can really make a lot of money.
Yeah, 10 years old. He must have made a PayPal or something. She
Probably.
said
I
that
mean,
he's
you can
quite the
get access to
entrepreneur.
anything,
Yeah.
and kids know how to do it all.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it all.
All right, so that was a great topic. Look, I mean, that's something that's going to be in the public eye for as long as there
Hmm.
is Twitter
Social media. Yeah.
slash X and social media to boot.
Hmm.
So I'm sure we'll hear a whole lot more about that.
I'm sure we will.
But we're gonna move on to this story. Um, okay, so what what I noticed first, I put shark attacked.
Mm.
Okay, because the first story I noticed was a shark being attacked.
Oh,
So they found a 15-foot great white shark washed up on a South African beach. Um, so they did the study on it and cut it open to find that it just ate a dolphin.
hmm.
But something took a bite out of it, and that something was a killer whale.
Whoa.
Um, yeah, so the story didn't really, strike me as anything until started diving into it a little. So the killer whale took a bite, first bit him in the head, and then basically took a big chunk out of him,
Jeez.
and it ate its liver. And apparently, this is a thing now for killer whales. They're targeting great white sharks for their liver.
What is like the Hannibal Lecter of the Sea World?
Right? Right? I thought it was so interesting, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wait a minute. So apparently, this is the 14th confirmed
Jeez.
since 2015. Now, it doesn't seem like that's a long time, right? You're talking
To a
9 years,
year. Yeah.
but that's only confirmed.
Yeah, that's not the ones that have fallen to the bottom of the ocean
Exactly,
or
and
have
then
been eaten in its
fed off of
entirety.
by everything
Yeah.
else and never be seen, right?
Dang.
So, oh, excuse me. So I looked into it, and when you look at the size difference, because I thought great white, okay, that is the king of the sea, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No, killer whales are by far bigger and stronger. So a great white can grow up to 21 feet. That's the largest one that they've seen. So 1,150 pounds to
Jeez.
1,700 pounds. That's a big fish.
Yeah. You do not want to get in a tussle with a great white shark, that's for sure.
But a killer whale can be from 8,000 to 12,000 pounds. Like you're talking to 12 times the size of a great white.
Wow.
I did not know that.
No, I didn't either.
That is something that I just learned. They can grow up to 32 feet long.
Oh my
Most
gosh.
are around 29. And just the sheer size difference,
Yeah.
it just says everything. It's no match for a killer whale. It's no match. So
I had no idea.
yeah, because I thought, you look at a killer whale, it's SeaWorld, the whole bit.
I thought the name killer whale was sort of a misnomer. Like I thought it was like the sea's gentle giant. Remember Free Willy?
Right.
I grew up on Free Willy. That is
Right. Right.
Hollywood lied to us, Ron.
That's right. It's exactly what it is. And it's the same thing with a great white shark. We all look at it, it's like, oh my God, Jaws, right?
Yeah,
No,
right.
no. They actually, most cases, they control the other creatures.
Mhm.
So when there's two creatures like in a brawl under the water, right? A great white shark will come just swimming through, and then they will scatter, and that's it. It doesn't it's not a menace. It doesn't go out there and just kill.
Mhm.
A great white is not a serial killer,
Mm-mm.
but they have that stigma because of the movie Jaws.
Yeah.
So it isn't anything like that, and they are getting slaughtered by the killer whales.
That's
So,
crazy. Now, do they
well,
come in a pack or a pod, I guess, as
well,
the whales?
yeah, killer whales travel in pods,
Mm-hmm.
and which is crazy to think that it was just one.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my estimation, I'm thinking that there's maybe like 3 or 4 of them, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
there's a couple of small ones, like babies, and they're traveling together, and
They're
you
showing
know,
their babies how it's done. They're
close.
like, hey, let's take this guy's liver. It's delicious.
Yeah,
Do it
and
when you're older.
so that is
Pretty
one
crazy.
of the foods that killer whales like is a shark liver. It's interesting.
Like to me, for them to know where the liver is, to find it in the body, to bite it and
Right.
get it out, like that is mind blowing.
They are in the cetacean family, which is basically a dolphin.
Oh, so they're very smart.
So they are very intelligent. They have different ways of attacking. It's really interesting, and it makes me want to go watch some Discovery Channel stuff about
Right.
killer whales.
Yeah, like forget Shark Week, it's Orca Week.
Yes, exactly. That's what I want to see.
When
That's
you
what I
s-
want to see.
when you said that the shark was attacked, I was thinking megalodon,
Right.
like a giant shark got it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was thinking, what the hell is going to take a bite out of a great white? And
Giant
it
squid.
turned out to be a killer whale.
Crazy. The animal kingdom is wild.
Yeah, so there were 2 others that I saw. First of all, the one that Richard came on and talked to us about before the show started. In Del Mar, California, a shark attacked a man that was only 100 yards from the beach.
Oh wow.
There were no lifeguards on duty at the time because it was before 9 a.m. So he was like doing some training class. And apparently the people in the class saved him from the shark, and it bit him in the hand,
Oh my gosh.
torso, and arm. So it probably was going to take a pretty good sized chunk out of him.
Yeah, in half.
Yeah. And so he got sent to the hospital, of course. It was significant, but not life threatening.
Okay, that's good.
So he survived. I guess everything is still intact. And
Except for that gaping hole in his torso.
yeah, there's a little bit of that.
The post-traumatic
know,
stress that comes with a shark
I
attack.
don't know. It makes me not want to be in the ocean. I'll take a
No.
pool any day.
And they're saying that sharks are getting closer and closer to shore and in colder
Yes.
waters. Like they keep seeing attacks in Canada and the Maritimes. Like Canada's not a warm country. This water is not warm to go into,
Yeah.
but they're finding more and more sharks over there.
Yeah, they got to go where the food is, right?
I guess so.
And people the food.
Yes, they are.
This one really struck me. I was stunned. So you get a bunch of friends swimming in the ocean, and then all of a sudden, all these ducks come flying out of the water, and everybody heads to the beach because it's a shark attack. So somebody's yelling shark, shark, and they all run out of the water, right? So a group of friends, they all, oh my God, we made it out of there. They start hugging, and then they find out that somebody's missing.
Oh.
Christine Armstrong, who was 63 years old, was swallowed whole in New South Wales, Australia. Swallowed whole. This
By
was
shark.
a big shark. Swallowed whole.
This is like some biblical stuff here. Whew.
Yeah. Her remains. Now, they didn't go into details on what the remains were, but I'm guessing it might have been a couple of limbs. Were found, the next day.
Oh my gosh.
So she was swallowed whole, and it just goes to show you how short a time it could be. Short a time. So
Wild.
So sorry to the family of Christine Armstrong. It's an appalling story. So that is our shark story for today. I mean, you got a feeling that this is going to happen at least a couple more times, right?
Yeah, I would think.
Kind of scary. It's kind of scary. So we are moving on. We got to talk about this grounding thing because I need to know more. This is interesting.
Grounding is awesome. So it obviously you didn't know what it was. So let's just assume that the fan base also doesn't know what it is. Grounding is also called earthing.
Okay.
So it's basically, you have a picture right there. It is your body connecting with the earth. So that's, laying barefoot, walking barefoot in the ground or in water. Excuse me. It's a therapeutic technique that people are really hyping about lately. It involves electrically connecting or reconnecting to the earth. So the earth has negative electrical charge, I guess, and some scientists believe that it's transferring free electrons into your body. So it sounds crazy. Like I've been doing it for years where I walk barefoot and my kids are like, Mom, put shoes on. Like, no, I will not put shoes on. And now my oldest, she does track and field. And they are so big on grounding. In fact, next week she has a special coach coming in to teach them more about grounding. So there is something about it.
Yeah, that's interesting because I remember as a kid never wore shoes out in the summertime, running around, and you should put shoes on because of the bees. And I'm like, it just felt good.
Feels so good. Yes. It's a really I wouldn't say unresearched, but under-researched topic. You can call it maybe pseudoscience, or like for me, when I talk about stuff like this, my family's just like, okay, Becky, because I'm into all kinds of holistic things like that. But I just love it. There's like an urge inside of me when I have shoes on, like I need to take them off and be barefoot.
Right.
So I do a lot of my gardening barefoot. Sometimes I'll walk the dogs barefoot. The problem is living where I live, it's not warm a lot of the year. So you're really missing out on that connection.
In Canada?
Yeah. And right now too, this has been the coldest spring ever. Anyway, should be hot right now. It's not.
So I saw this on I just remembered the name Moonhaven. I
Okay.
just started watching the series. It had a couple of people from Lost, and I
Mm,
loved Lost, so I watched it. And then they were talking about it, and I'm like, what the hell? And then one of the characters goes out and does that, digs his feet into the ground,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, okay, I've never seen this before. And then here you go, 2 days later,
Talking about it.
we're talking about it. And I didn't think it was a real thing because I'm looking at it's a sci-fi TV show.
Right.
So I'm thinking, okay, it's nothing,
Yeah.
but it
No,
is
it's a real
apparently.
thing. Yeah, absolutely it is. So they say that it can help with all kinds of different ailments, depression, anxiety, sleep disorders,
Really?
fatigue, inflammation, cardiovascular issues. Yeah, and they say that through grounding, the natural defenses of the body can be restored. And I think, like, honestly, humans are meant to be connected with nature. We're meant to be out in nature, right? Like a early human wasn't in these houses
No, they were in like
with
caves and
rubber
stuff.
and plastic and things like that. No, I mean they were probably barefoot and out in the wild. So
Yeah, there weren't cobblers back in
yeah,
the
right.
caveman
In
days,
the
right?
early days, yeah. Maybe they realized it hurt their feet to stand on rocks
First
and stuff.
profession might have been a cobbler.
Yeah, maybe, hey. So you definitely have to build up. If you're just going to take off your shoes and walk through rocks, you're going to get hurt. We have a lot of pine cones in my yard. So yesterday I stepped on like 4 in a row. And so I'm out there just swearing my head off. And now I've got slivers all in my feet. I've got blood blisters, but I don't know. It was worth it because I like how it makes me feel after.
I'm gonna have to do that because
Yeah, why
you
not?
know, I, look, if if it works and makes you feel better, then why wouldn't you continue doing it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. They do say it is tough to study because it relies a lot on subjective measures, like self-reported feelings on it, or what was your mood when you did it, and everyone's going to respond differently to that. So, like I said, it is sort of under researched, and it is sort of a pseudoscience at this point because is there a way to quantify it? They do say that as far as inflammation goes, they can check that one with like a blood marker test to actually see that inflammation goes down when you do
Look,
it.
I look at it this way: if something makes you feel better,
Yeah.
then it's working.
This is true.
It doesn't matter, what it really is, but if
Yeah.
it makes you feel better, then you should
Then
probably
go for it.
pursue it as long
Well,
as it's legal.
even like placebo effect, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because look, I've grown up living near a beach, right? And you
hmm
walk along the beach in the water
hmm
barefoot, and the sand makes you feel great. And when the water comes in and mixes with that sand while you're standing there,
Oh,
it
it feels so
makes
good.
you feel good.
You know why it feels good? Because you were grounding, my friend.
That's right.
Yeah.
So all those years that
hmm
whenever I go to a beach and I do that, even as an adult, I've been grounding and never knew it.
hmm
Never
Yeah,
knew it.
good places to ground are the grass, the sand, mud, it said as well.
Yes.
Lying on the ground is really good if you have skin to earth contact. I remember my girlfriends and I went out to the mountains here where I live, and we had a night. We drank way too much. And the next morning we were hurting. We were hurting hard. And we went for a hike, and it was not happening. And we all just laid on the ground. There's something about mountain air, mountain energy that just makes you feel so good. And we're all just lying there, like absorbing this thermal heat. And it just felt so good.
You really truly connect with nature at that point,
Yeah,
and
you do.
and it's got to be, it's got to work. It's got to work.
hmm
There's got to be
Yeah,
something to it, right?
totally.
That is so interesting. I'm glad you did this story because it's just weird how I just saw it and
hmm
I didn't even understand. It kind of just like blew right through me, right?
hmm
I didn't think anything of it.
hmm
And then here we are.
And here
All
we
right.
are.
So Becky, you're gonna experience the Ron's top 5 list for the first time. I really enjoy doing these lists because it could be about anything. And the fact that it is Pride Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
I decided to do this one. The top 5 gay TV characters.
Okay.
And, you know, look, I didn't watch every single show
That's ever existed. Yeah.
never. It's just out of the ones that I know,
Yeah.
that I watch. And at number 5, I have Leo Snart from Legends of Tomorrow.
Okay.
And he was basically Captain Cold or, Citizen Cold, depending on, what they think, whether it's the comics or the actual TV show. And the star of that, well, the guy that played the character, Wentworth Miller, did
Oh, okay.
a great job. And I'm like, why isn't this guy everywhere? Well,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably because his name is Wentworth.
Yeah, right. This is Prison
Not a
Break guy,
star
correct?
name, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, if he had a different first name, I think he would have been a huge star because he
Sam
did a great
Miller.
job.
Yeah.
He did a great job, and I used to love that character because he was a villain, and and then you had that aspect of the character, and it just worked. It just worked.
So his character is gay?
Yes.
Okay, because I know he's gay in real life too.
Oh, is he? I
Yeah.
don't even know. I've never seen him in anything else.
Prison Break.
Oh, is that him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn! I didn't know
Absolute babe. Yeah. He's
that. Oh, wow!
I
See?
support this character or this person.
Oh, so the acting skills is known then, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and number 4, I have Jody Dallas. Who's Jody Dallas? You
Right.
say? Yeah, well, that's a character from the old TV show Soap, and it
Okay.
was Billy Crystal.
Oh, okay.
And Billy Crystal is a megastar, right?
Mhm.
When Harry Met Sally, all that's the City Slickers. Jody Dallas was an absolute hilarious character, and it was so funny. I didn't like the TV show Soap, but I watched it for Billy Crystal because he was that funny.
Was he? That's cool.
So number 3, I have Jesus, who is right down there in the pictures of the top 5 characters from Walking Dead. And he is his actual character name is Paul Monroe, and I unfortunately can't think of his name offhand. And I thought I wrote it down, and I didn't write it down, so I don't know the actor's name. But
I'll look
he was
it up while you're
fantastic.
talking.
Yeah, he was fantastic. A fantastic character who was like trying to bring all the communities together, and and you look at this guy who looks like Jesus, and it turns out that it's a gay character, and such a main focus in the shows that he was in.
I found him.
And just yes, I mean, look at that.
Tom
He looks like
Haynes.
Jesus.
Yeah, he looks like he could play on The Chosen or something.
Right. So I thought that was the number 3 character. Number 2 is also from The Walking Dead, and that is his little buddy there on the side of him, and that is Aaron, played by Ross Marquand. Fantastic. He is a badass too. Like that dude, he's got one arm, he's got a metal thing over his arm.
Oh,
And he was he came into the series running away from the main characters, Daryl and Rick, and then history was made. He came in, he was such a key part of that series, and very openly gay in the series. He had a husband, Eric, and he died, and he was just such a great character in the series.
Clearly, I've never seen Walking Dead
No, but you know what?
or Soap.
I mean, there's some people out there that really love those shows, and they might not even be aware of these things. So number 1 is Darren Cody from Animal Kingdom. That show was absolutely amazing. It was ruthless, brutal. You know, there was a lot of things about it. It was basically about a drug kingpin family of thieves. So they stole, they made big heists of banks and whatever it may be. And he was one of the brothers, and he was a gay character, and they had scenes in the series that were probably a little overboard with the amount that they show, but you know, the series was awesome. It was such a great series.
Was this an HBO show?
No, it was, I believe it was TNT.
Oh, okay.
I believe it was TNT. And Animal Kingdom, and he was brutal. We'll just say that. But he did a lot of things to a lot of people, and but that was my favorite character of all of them. That was my favorite one.
I love how your list, well, minus Billy Crystal's character, but the other 4 are like real aggressive, like badass guys.
I had to throw somebody funny in there.
Yeah. You know who I think you're missing, and it does not fit with your theme at all of these action stars. I pulled it up on my phone here. Jack McFarlane, Will and Grace.
Yes.
My favorite.
It does. But you know, the problem is I never saw the show.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
It's one of the top shows in history, right?
Yeah.
And you know, but I never got a chance to see it. It was always on a night that I was either working or had other events to do. So I never really got a chance to see that show. And I mean, I'm sure he's fantastic in it.
Oh, it's so funny. That's such a great show. Watch it. I'm sure it's on some sort of streaming network. Watch it.
Oh, I'm sure. So that is the list I got for that.
Awesome. Good list.
That leaves us one topic, if I'm not mistaken, and that is the Mandela effect. Yeah. And I'll tell you, this is the crazy thing with this. So I'm interested in hearing your take on this.
Well, so for anyone who doesn't know what the Mandela effect, this is the theory that masses of people have the same false memory. So like, how is that even possible, right? So the term was coined in 2009 by a lady named Fiona Broome after I believe she was at a conference and she was talking to a bunch of people there. She realized that her belief of Nelson Mandela dying in the 80s was held by a lot of the people at the same conference that she was at. But this was 2009 that this happened. Nelson Mandela didn't die until 2013.
Right.
But all of these people that she had talked to believed that they remember seeing on TV him dying in the 80s. There was a speech from prison. He supposedly died in a prison cell in South Africa. Now, I was not really around then, where I was a baby, so I don't know. I can't use that one as one that I think has actually happened. But yeah, that's
I remember that.
Okay, see, so how is this
I don't know how. And that's the crazy thing about this. You'll always find people that really truly think that they saw this.
Yes. Yeah. So there are so many. If you type into Google Mandela effect, there are so many. There's even a Facebook group that I'm a part of called Mandela Effects and Glitches in the Matrix. And people will recount their own personal stories. Like one I read the other day, these people were driving and the radio cut out, and they had looked at the time when the radio cut out, and it was just like seconds for it to come back. And when it came back, they were hours ahead. And they're like, where is this? So that's more of a glitch in time than a Mandela effect. But yeah, just the idea that there is an alternate reality happening concurrently with ours, or multiple realities happening.
There are people that are thinking that we're in some sort of
The Matrix.
yeah, like some sort of a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday, I was watching Paranormal Caught on Tape. I mean, believe it if you're not, I don't care, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they were showing a guy that was videoing a car stuck in traffic, and they're seeing the reflection from the mirror, the side mirror of the guy that's sitting in the seat, and you can see his head is moving all over the place, but the guy's face never moved in the
Ooh.
side view mirror. And I mean, there's all kinds of instances where people are seeing stuff like this,
Mm-hmm.
and it also had some piece of cellophane wrapper hovering in midair, and the guy is like filming it from all over the place, and
Mm-hmm.
he's talking, and he's like, I don't know how this is just here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so there are people that think that there are glitches in the system,
Mm-hmm.
and that's weird.
Yeah. So I watched this one video a few months ago where someone was on an old, I think it was a Razor phone. Remember the Razor, that
Yeah,
flip phone from 2007, 2008, maybe?
right.
And they were on that, and it had those early day cameras on it. And they were looking through the camera and walking into their bedroom. I think there was a painting on their wall that was weird to them, like something was very strange. And when they would look through like their eyes, the painting was one way, but when they would look through this old camera, it was a different way. So now the other thought is that, remember in 2012 when everyone thought the Mayan calendar, everyone was going to die, the world was going to
Right.
end?
Yep.
A lot of people have thought that that was when this happened, that there was some sort of end to civilization, but none of us know because we're now living in a simulation. It can even go back to CERN in Switzerland. That is a whole topic in itself. And these cameras that predate the 2012 were able to see things differently. I don't know if I believe that, but I do know that some of these examples are things that I remember from when I was a kid that are different now.
Yeah.
So some
there's
famous
always
examples.
seems to be something that you remember a certain way, and then looking back at it, it's not even close.
No. So some famous examples are the Berenstain Bears. Remember those books?
Yeah.
Well, it's now written the Berenstain, like Stain, but I remember being the Berenstain Bears because we'd always say the Berenstain. And
Wait,
like
so
as a
it's
kid,
AIN?
Yeah.
It's not EIN?
No, we've always said the Berenstain. Why would we say Steen if it was AIN? Like we knew how to read.
Huh.
Yeah. And another example is Fruit of the Loom. The logo was always fruit with that cornucopia behind it.
Yeah.
And yet now it's just the fruit. And they say that cornucopia never existed.
Wait, really?
Supposedly.
Come on, I used to wear that, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. The other one that's a big one is the Monopoly Man. So we always remember him with a little monocle, right? A little glass. Apparently that never existed.
Wait, what? Wait, I got to look that up.
If you just type in Monopoly Man, he will show up without it. But I do remember on Ace Ventura Pet Detective, the second one, he is talking to that old man, and that old man has a monocle, and he calls him the Monopoly Man. Why would he call him that if he was just a little old man?
Oh my God. I always thought he had the monocle.
He did, Ron. That's the thing.
Still did. I like
he
just
did
right
have
now.
Another one that really gets me, because I remember this, was the movie Shazam. Not the new Shazam. Shazam was Sinbad. Remember Sinbad?
Right.
Yeah, that was a movie. He was like, I can't remember if he was a genie or if he was a superhero. I can't really remember.
He was a genie.
Yeah, because Kazam also came out with Shaq around the same time.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're saying. Like, no, Shazam never happened with Sinbad. That was Kazam with Shaq. Even Sinbad has come out saying, I never did this movie. It's not on his IMDb.
Wait.
But we've all seen it.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Sinbad was absolutely Shazam.
Well, apparently he wasn't.
Oh, come on. You're like, are you serious?
I know. Then there's so many. Like,
because I remember him with the turban and everything. It was like
Yeah.
it was like a purplish pink.
Yes. I know. Apparently it didn't exist. So why? I don't know. Like, I don't understand like the what's the end game for whoever's doing this? You know, if someone's just scrubbing the internet, is it to just make all of us a little crazier? You know, like I don't know. I don't know the end game. But I did look into how this could be happening. So the first thought was false memories. So basically neurons that are in close connection to a similar memory, they kind of fire when you think about it. So, you know, like in the Shazam Kazam thing, if we were thinking Kazam, well, that's a similar memory to the Shazam. So when we think of Shazam, we're actually thinking Kazam. I think that one's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, because I don't. Well, first of all, I never saw Kazam with Shaq.
We watched it recently. It's so bad.
It is.
So bad.
Just stood away from that. But oh my God, I remember Sinbad so well.
Yes, I know. We all do. But they act like it never happened. And Sinbad said it never happened. So I don't know. Another reason
want to say it was his best movie.
Yeah, right.
It never happened, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Another reason why is called confabulation. So basically that's your brain filling in gaps that are missing in your memories to make more sense of them. So for example,
why would I be missing Sinbad in a movie?
Right. I know. This is like remembering details that never happened. So it's not like it's a lie. It's just remembering details that never happened. Again, feels like a bit of a stretch to me. Another one is called misleading post or post-event info. So basically information learned after an event can change your memory of an event. So I think this is why you know, like witness statements and things like that aren't overly accurate because your brain remembers things a little bit differently. Yeah. And anyway, there's a whole bunch of other things on here, but the big one is that there's alternate realities. The theory is derived from quantum physics, and it basically suggests that rather than one timeline existing, there are alternate timelines existing at once. So you know, the alternate universes may be taking place in the same timeline. And for that reason, this is why groups of people have the same memories, because the timeline has been altered as we bounce between these different realities. I don't know what I believe. It's weird though.
You got me wondering. I'm actually searching for
I see that. I see the wheels turning here.
I'm like, wait a minute, it had to be real.
I know.
Because I distinctly remember him in that turban and this whole outfit.
Yeah, we all do.
He had like these puffy purplish pants on.
But then, so I could understand why these false memories or whatever, when it's, you know, similar ideas, because Sinbad is a tall black man and Shaq is a tall black man, and they both did genie movies around the same time in the early 90s. So I understand like how, but yeah, we all remember it. So
yeah,
there's
Sinbad
so many.
Goes back to the 80s. And no, I thought I saw it before, way before Shaq even existed.
Right. Well, maybe.
I don't know.
Sorry to ruin your morning.
What do I know? Apparently nothing, because I'm
even
like
if you know it,
to look for it.
Even if you know it, you don't know it because it changed. Everything changed. Like there's so many different ones. Skechers, the shoes, Jif, the peanut butter. Oh gosh, like I had a whole bunch written down.
Peanut butter. What?
Well, apparently we used to call it Jiffy, but it's actually Jif. But then people are saying it's because we're thinking Skippy peanut butter, not Jiffy peanut butter. I don't know. Maybe next show I should bring a more detailed list. We'll talk
Wow,
more about it.
this is crazy.
This is crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So it is time for us to wrap things
It
up.
is time to go.
I'll tell you, that was enlightening. Look, check us out.
Yes.
Support the show. If you're on Facebook, throw us some stars, help the show out.
Yes.
And if you're on Twitch, send us some bits, subscribe, do the whole bit. Subscribe, follow, share the show, because people are going to want to see this one. They're going to want to see this. I'm stunned on everything that I've learned today. I learned so much today. I've learned more today than I have the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's so true.
I'm baffled right now.
And what were you saying yesterday? The porn addicts and the foot fetishists, they're coming out to watch this show today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everybody's going to be wanting this one. But it is time for our closing comments. So, Becky, if you have anything you want to say, now is the time to do it. Because we're going to get out of here.
Put me on the spot here. No, thank you for watching our show today. Definitely like, subscribe, follow, share, all the things. We totally appreciate it. It's fun to bring different perspectives from, different countries too. It's cool to hear different thoughts on these subjects.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to say that, look, if you like the show, please do everything you can to support it, because, we are trying to bring you something that is certainly better than what's out there on, the networks and all that stuff. I think what we have going is absolutely special.
It's personal.
And it is. And you can join us every show and throw some comments out there. We will interact with you when we're live. And we'll be live Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be 7 a.m. in Edmonton. So
yes, it is.
Edmonton, come on, show up, and we'll get to talk to you just like we do to each other on the show. So that is the show for this week. We will see you Saturday morning.
Can't wait.